Hey guys, I have a 15-minute body weight workout for you today. It's 12 minutes of work, but with rest, it'll take you 15 minutes. The workout's structured so that you have 2 minutes of really hard work and then 30 seconds of rest, 2 minutes of really hard work, 30 seconds of rest, and so on. When we hit the halfway point, I'll give you a full minute of rest. During the 2 minutes of work, we're gradually building into a 3-part exercise combo. So the first 20 seconds is the first part of that combo. Let's say it's a plank jack. The second chunk of that block is going to be the plank jack plus a secondary movement. So let's say a plank jack to a low squat hop. The last minute of the chunk, we're going to add on a third movement. So it'll be the plank jack to the squat jump to an overhead hop. That's going to be your first combo. Actually, I just gave it away, but we'll be building up sequences in that fashion. Now that probably sounded really confusing. There's no right way to word that. Trust me, this is like my third take and it still sounds confusing. But fear not, I'm going to give you a demonstration of the exercises before we get going, and I will walk you through it so you'll be in good hands. As with all workouts, make sure you're properly warmed up beforehand. I have a 5-minute warm up on my channel, or you can do your own. And make sure you take some time to cool down afterwards. During the workout, if anything does not feel right, make sure you stop or modify as needed. Always listen to your body. If you're new to my channel, I don't play music in the background because I want you to be able to listen to whatever songs you like. So if you don't have a playlist queued up, you might want to get that going. And if you're all set, I'm going to give you the preview of the exercises and then we are going to get to it. Okay, start making your way into a plank. We're going to start with our first 2-minute push with those plank jacks. Now, any wrist issues, you can always do these on your forearms instead, these first 20 seconds. When we get to the next 40 though, you will have to do it up on straight arms so you can get into that squat. So from here, we're hopping our feet wide and then back in. You're already about halfway there through this first little chunk. Remember, those chunks get longer and longer as we go. Coming up at the beeps, you're going to add in a squat snap. All right, so next time those feet are together, you're going to hop them up to the outside of your hands, landing in a low squat. When you're in that low squat, weight is in your heels, button hips down and back. Your core is still active, so think of knitting your ribs together and pulling up and in through the low abs, long through the spine. Now, remember, 2 whole minutes of moving, so pace yourself. Yes, I want you to go fast. I want you to get the heart rate up. We're not going to sacrifice proper form, though. You have just over 10 seconds to go before you are at our last little chunk, which is going to be a minute long, the longest chunk of the series. And we'll just add in an overhead jump so that we're kind of doing a burpee with the jack at the bottom. Okay, let's do it. So we jack in the plank, we jump our feet up to the outsides of our hands, and then you hop up. If that hop is too much and you want to modify, just stand for me, okay? So it would just be an air squat. Now, I know 2 minutes is a long time to be moving, especially doing these high-intensity exercises. If you need to pause for a second, do it, and then get right back into it. Notice I'm just sort of slowing down the pace, so I'm trying to stay steady through the 2 minutes. Just as soon as I feel that form starting to slip because I'm tired, I just dial down the speed a bit. You have 20 seconds to go. In 20 seconds, you get a full 30 seconds to rest. Keep it going right to the end, under 10 seconds. All right, and as you rest, I'm going to show you the preview for the next block. To you by the end of these 2 minutes. Make your way into a lunge position and we'll start with just the jump lunge, alternating which foot is in front, switching mid-air. Land softly, and when I say that, I just mean land low, okay? So notice my knees are bending. I'm sinking right down into that next lunge. You want to bring your back knee pretty close to touching the floor. Of course, you don't want to bang it, but it should just be hovering a few inches at your lowest point. At the beeps, we are going to add in a knee up. So from the lunge position, you're going to drive the front knee up. Notice I'm kind of bringing my hands in front of me and driving the knee up to meet it, and then do a jump lunge. So just adding in one of those little knee ups each side. Now, this is a marathon, not a sprint, 2 whole minutes of this. So go at whatever pace is going to allow you to sustain movement throughout the entire 2 minutes. Oh, I'm struggling. You got 10 more seconds like this, and then we will add in our third and final movement to the sequence. Oh gosh, I'm struggling. Okay, we're into our last minute. We're going to add in a little lunge hop. So lunge hop, then drive the front knee up, then do your jump lunge. Hop, knee up, switch, other side. Now, if you need to modify this, instead of doing the jump lunge, I want you to just stand and then do a back lunge. So you would just step the back foot forward and then the other foot back. We got 30 seconds to go. All right, now notice we're getting towards the end. Hopefully those legs are on fire. Mine certainly are. I want you to notice if you're kind of getting higher and higher in the lunge. I know I noticed that my legs are getting a little straighter. Really try to stay low. So remember that back knee is kind of hovering off the floor when you're in your lowest lunge position. Last few seconds here, and then you get another 30 to rest. Oh man, shake out those legs while I show you our next sequence. Core, thighs, working on this one. Make your way to a plank, and we're going to start with a bear to a full plank. So you're jumping your knees in so they're under your hips. Think tabletop, but keep the knees hovering off the floor, and then back to your plank. Notice I'm kind of going at a slow, steady pace here because at this point I'm tired. I know I got a full 2 minutes to go, so I'm going to pace myself. At the beeps, we're adding in a donkey kick. So you jump into the bear position and then kick your heels in towards your bum, hop back into the plank. Remember, we're here for 40 seconds before we add on our third and final movement. Now, if you need to pause, I want you to think of pausing in an active position. So instead of dropping those knees to the floor and shaking out those shoulders, pause in the plank or pause in the bear. You'll notice that's what I'm kind of doing. I hop in, pause, donkey kick, pause, out to plank, pause. And if you need to roll out your shoulders like I just did, do it quickly and then get right back into it. Okay, we're going to add in a march. So forearms, back up to a high plank, jump into your bear, and then kick those heels into your bum for your donkey. Now, when you do the march, I want you to alternate which arm is your lead arm. So if the first time you're going right, left, next time you get to the march, try to go left, right, just so that we're not pushing up off that dominant arm every time. When you do the march, I want you to knit those ribs together. Think of keeping a long spine. Your hips are going to want to dip side to side. I want you to try to keep them as level as possible. Also, I don't want you to leave your butt piking up in the air. So as you lower down into that forearm plank, bring your hips down with you. You have 15 seconds to go, 15 seconds, and then you get a full minute to recover because we will officially be at our halfway point in this workout. Keep it up. Last few seconds here, right until you hear those beeps. Do not stop a single second early. There you go. All right, you have a full 60 seconds to rest, and then we're going to do that whole thing one more time. Okay, let's start back at the top with those plank jacks. Remember, you can do the first 20 seconds from your forearms if your wrists tend to get cranky with a lot of plank stuff. So we're hopping the feet out wide and back to center. Okay, so pace yourself. It's okay to go a little slower, especially slower than the first time. I'd rather you go slower and stay in at the full 2 minutes than to burn out in these first 20 and then have to stop a bunch. At those beeps, we're adding in that squat snap. So feet together, hop them outside your hands, land in that low squat. When you bring your hands off the floor, think of keeping an open chest, okay? So I don't want you to be hunched. I want you to lift the chest up, think long spine. You have 20 more seconds just like this, and then we'll add in our third and final movement of the sequence, which will just be that overhead jump. Okay, from that low squat position, just add a jump up. If that jump up is too much, just stand. Okay, so we got a minute to go. We're over the halfway point in this block, and it's the last time you'll see this sequence. All right, let's talk real quick about modifications. If this is getting to be too much, and it should definitely be a challenge, you should be struggling a little bit. You can take out that jump. You can also take active pauses. So try to pause in the plank like I just did rather than just standing there. If you do just need to stand there and take a breath, that's okay, but try to keep it quick, all right? You have a full 30 seconds of rest coming at you in just over 10 seconds. "30 seconds, shake it out." So we're going to go into that lunge series up next. So it's going to be 2 minutes of torture for those legs, but last time we have to do it. We'll start with just those jump lunges, and if you need to modify, I want you to just do an alternating back lunge. So you would just step 1 foot back at a time instead of jumping midair. 20 seconds, let's go, just the jump lunge. So you should be pushing yourself as hard as you can during these 2 minutes, but I fully acknowledge that 2 minutes is a long time to go at max effort. So if you need to slow it down, again, you can. I know I keep saying that, I'm a broken record, but it's better to slow down, keep the proper form, and stay active the entire 2 minutes. We're gonna start adding in that knee up. So you're gonna take the foot that's in front, drive the knee up to meet your hands, and then step it back, landing in that low lunge before going into your jump lunge. So we spend 40 seconds here. You got about 10 seconds to go before we add in that third movement, which will be the lunge hop. My legs are on fire. Hopefully yours are too. All right, let's add it in. So a little lunge hop. You don't have to get very high off the floor. Those feet just barely come off, and then you land right back down into that lunge. You drive the front knee up, and then you switch. And if you need to modify, instead of doing the jump lunge and switching mid-air, just do an alternating back lunge. So you just step both feet together, step the other foot back, and then you're in that lunge ready to go into the hop and the knee up. You have 30 seconds to go. This is where you got to dig deep, okay? We are done with the lunge stuff after this. Under 20 seconds, you got this. Can you give me another 10 seconds without stopping? Go right until you hear those beeps, and then you get 30 seconds of recovery. And there it is. Okay, shake out those legs. You have 30 seconds to recover. We have one more 2-minute push to go. We'll make our way down to the floor in that high plank. We'll do those bear planks. We'll add in a donkey kick. We'll add in a march, and then you are done with this workout. So let's make our way into a plank. Wrists are under shoulders. Step those feet back, engage through the quads. So think of squeezing your quads as if you're kind of lifting your quads off the kneecaps. You're gonna hop in, landing with those knees hovering, hips level with the shoulders, tabletop position, and then hop back out to your plank. You'll notice I'm going kind of measured with my pace here, like I did the first set, because I know that 2 minutes is a long time and I wanna try to last the whole 2 minutes. Okay, we start adding in that donkey kick. Once you're in the bear position with the knees bent, that's when you're gonna kick those heels up into your bum and then land back in that hovering bear softly. This should be a big challenge for your shoulders. If it gets to be too much for them, just roll them out real quick. Either drop your knees and give me a big shoulder shrug, or in the plank, just roll out one at a time. In 10 seconds, we are going to add in the third and final piece of this puzzle. It'll be that marching plank. Add it in. You're going to march down to a forearm plank, back up to your high plank, jump those feet into your bear, kick those heels up into your bum in that donkey kick. Okay, 50 seconds and then you're done with this workout. Can you stay active for the entire time? If you need to slow it down, that's okay. If you need to take active pauses, that's okay too. Maybe you just hold that plank for a couple breaths, but try to stay in it. "30 seconds. You're 30 seconds away from the end of this workout. Keep it up. I'm struggling right there along with you guys. You probably noticed my pace is getting slower and slower, but I am staying in it. I am staying active. It's under 10 seconds. That is it. You can do anything for just a few seconds. And there it is. Hope you guys enjoyed that workout. I know my thighs and my shoulders are on fire after that one. If you enjoyed this video, you know the drill. Give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys here back next Monday with another workout.